I heard all across social media and the news that as of June 20th, 2024, the actor Donald Sutherland passed away in Miami, Florida. The reports say he died at age 88 of a long illness. I couldn't find any mention of what the illness was or how long he suffered from it. The reports of his death came from his son Kiefer Sutherland. For this, I thought I'd go over some of the roles I remember him by. These aren't all going to necessarily be the greatest roles, nor will they necessarily be the best movies he's been in. There are plenty of great movies he's been in that I haven't seen. Just scrolling through his IMDb page shows me the amazing range he had as an actor. Before I get into the movies, here's a bit of comic book trivia. Chris Claremont and John Van Byrne modeled the look and name of the character Donald Pierce after Donald Sutherland. The last name Pierce comes from his role as Hawkeye Pierce in the 1970 movie MASH, a role you might be more familiar with being played by Alan Alda in the later TV series. If you're not familiar with the comic book character, you might know him as the main antagonist in the movie Logan, played by Boyd Holbrook. The movie that introduced me to Donald Sutherland was the 1978 version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. A popular meme of Donald pointing from the movie has an interesting story. Veronica Cartwright, who played opposite of him in the scene, and wasn't told he was going to be a body snatcher, and was taken completely off guard by the reveal. While they weren't his greatest movie he's been in, the ones I personally remember him best for are the ones from the 90s, with Outbreak, The Puppet Masters, Virus, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. In Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Sutherland played the Watcher Merrick, who was charged with training Buffy.
And you have been chosen, Buffy, to stop the vampires.
The movie, unfortunately, wasn't what Joss Whedon intended, with much of it being rewritten into Whedon's frustration. Some of these rewrites came from Donald himself, rewriting the dialogue for his character. Though, to be honest, the character of Merrick did seem like the best written one. We would get a closer version of what Whedon intended with the TV series, with the movie serving as soft canon to the series. The Puppet Masters is a movie based on Robert A. Heinlein's novel of the same name, not to be confused with the Puppet Master series used by Full Moon Features, which is about killer dolls. It's about aliens who can latch on and take complete control of their hosts.
My God, it has total control.
Very much like the Goa'uld from Stargate SG-1. So much so, it makes me wonder if the novel was an influence for them as well. The Body Snatchers novel was influenced by Heinlein's novel, and as previously noted, was another novel-turned-movie Sutherland was in. Sutherland played the role of Andrew Nivens, a government agent and father to the main protagonist played by Eric Thal Sam Nivens. In the movie Outbreak, the Ebola virus mutated to become airborne.
The protein code has changed, which allows it to survive longer in the air.
Concerns about the Ebola virus were rampant in the news, with over 50 reported cases in Africa the year prior, and headlines talking about a real outbreak of 315 cases in the Congo the year it came out, which was the second largest reported outbreak of Ebola at the time. Sutherland played the antagonist General Donald McClintock in the movie. General McClintock's plan to stop the outbreak was to bomb the entire town where the outbreak had occurred, with a fuel air bomb, described in the movie as such.
The way it works, it explodes, sucks in all available oxygen to the core, vaporizes everything within a mile of ground zero, men, women, children, and one airborne virus.
And I bet you thought having to stay home and social distance was an extreme measure for handling an outbreak. Originally, Joe Don Baker was to play General McClintock, but the director wanted a more Oliver North quality to the character and thought Sutherland would be better for the role. Unfortunately, Sutherland was unable to join the set at first and had to come on later after production began. The final movie from the 90s that I remember Donald Sutherland from was one that I kept catching on the Sci-Fi Channel called Virus.
You are virus.
In the movie, an energy-based life form capable of taking over anything that operates on electricity by traveling through the electrical current, including humans, and takes over a Russian research vessel and begins using the ship and crew as raw material to construct bodies.
Spare parts. It wants us for spare parts.
Sutherland played the role of a tugboat captain by the name of Robert Everton.
Everton is the dominant life form. I am Everton.
When the tugboat finds the Russian vessel, they consider claiming it as a derelict ship in international waters. The body horror when they begin to use human parts ranges from appearing Borg-like to worse.
Blood is still pumping through this brain. There's been no decomposition at all. This brain is still alive.
Perhaps one of my favorite roles of Donald Sutherland was that of Sergeant Oddball in the 1970 movie Kelly's Heroes. This character gave off some serious hippie vibes, man.
Crazy.
I mean, like, so many positive ways.
To be such a standout character in a movie packed with great talent, it truly shows Sutherland's acting skills. Kill His Heroes, along with Invasion of the Body Snatchers, are perhaps the two best movies I've seen with Donald Sutherland in them. Your talent to bring characters to life on screen will be missed.